What's up, board game people? Another week has flown by and we've gotten a ton of exciting news from around the industry. We're getting sneak peeks of crowdfunding campaigns that are starting to take shape. GenCon is just around the corner. New game campaigns are popping up everywhere, and there have been some killer retail releases this week. I don't accept money from game companies for making my videos. I make them to help us all stay up to date on the latest news in the industry. If I get something wrong or we disagree about something, let me know in the comments. First up, let's take a look at what's coming soon. We're just so close to a Silver Coin launch you can almost reach out and touch it. Silver Coin Age of Monster Hunters will launch on Kickstarter on Tuesday, July 19th at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. They've put one last newsletter out covering early bird rewards, pledges, surprise gifts, and more. They're offering 3 pledge levels off the bat, including access to the Pledge Manager, a base game, and a deluxe version. The early bird reward will see your name added to a piece of art that will be displayed on the game box. To be notified when the project goes live, check out the link to the pre-launch page in the video description below. This week we'll also see Burncycle returning to crowdfunding on Gamefound. They'll be offering a full reprint of the original campaign as well as several new expansions and add-ons. The Edwall expansion adds another brutal corporation to the game. To fight this new corp, they're adding the Renegade Bot Pack add-on to cause a little chaos. And just to spice things up a bit, you can pick up the Robophobia Micro expansion. Follow the project now for a free equipment pack. Later this month, we have 2 more notable reprints and expansions coming in the form of Euthia Resurrected and Return to the Dark Tower, the reprint and expansion. This week, we saw a reprint of Dead Throne launch. This adventure game is a bit all over the place, and the second edition is missing the interesting mechanical market in the box lid. Sadly, it's still struggling to make funding. At this time, it's questionable if they'll be able to pull it out. We also saw Temple of Horrors launch on Gamefound. A day later, the campaign is canceled. This game needs a bit more work on the campaign page, and they're actively taking suggestions and planning a relaunch soon. I'd love to see more information about the gameplay and the lore from the world. It has potential, I just don't think the project page conveyed it well. Let's take a look at the Warhammer Preorders for this week. This week, Warhammer 40k saw a pre-release for the Knights Questorius pack. The kit comes with quite a few options for customizing them to fit up to 8 different datasheets. On the Kill Team roster, we're adding the Corsair Voidsguard and the Chaos Space Marines Legionnaires packs. They've also pre-released the Kill Team Nachmund paperback supplement. Okko Chronicles Cycle of the Earth released a preview of 2 more of the core game scenarios. This week we're looking at the Mystery in the Village of Eternal Snows and the Cave of the Penitents. These scenarios can be played independently or along the longer campaign tree as you like. Artwork for the components of the core box is just about complete, and testing of the game is ongoing. Aeons End Past and Future launched its Pledge Manager this week. They're only keeping this Pledge Manager open until August the 12th, so don't be like me and procrastinate getting it completed. I discovered they're not only charging a surcharge for Wave 6, but the same $10 surcharge is also applying to Wave 3 as well. I've been told this was a mistake in the campaign's graphics, and they intend to post an update soon explaining such. The charge is due to the size of the legacy boxes. While it's questionable to slap backers with the charge after it not being shown in the campaign, I believe it was an honest mistake and I'm glad to see them acknowledging it now. I've only ever heard good things about IBC and I want to give them the benefit of the doubt here. Malhya has posted a quick update letting us know that the miniature manufacturing is beginning and showing off some of the factory samples. The minis look great, but it's incredibly difficult to get a sense of scale because of the angle and the way they were photographed. They've also received and are showing off blank samples for the booklets. There are a ton of booklets included with this game, and one especially beefy book that looks a bit intimidating. The visualization of the storage layout looks fantastic. Hopefully they're able to stick close to this for the final product. Finally, the Pledge Manager from Malhya should be opening sometime the week of August 15th. This week, Escape from Stalingrad Z is showing off the fantastically creepy 160mm prototype for Der Grinser that's included in the Zombie Master Set pledge level. While I didn't spring for this giant, I almost wish I had. The lettering on the laser cut box for the monster could use some work, but other than that, I think anyone getting this fellow will be very happy. As promised, Go On Board is taking the feedback about issues with The Witcher Old World very seriously, and they've posted another update asking for a vote on 2 new designs for the big box storage, showing off some of the mass production unshaded miniatures. These miniatures are lacking a bit of the detail from the shaded resin samples that were shown, but that's completely normal in the transition from resin to plastic model. The minis are looking good, and without the goofy shading, it's easy to tell these will paint up nicely. Pirates of the Splintered Isles, Book 3 of the Legendary Kingdoms series, funded in spectacular fashion on Kickstarter and wrapped their campaign this week. In 2 to 3 weeks, they will be releasing the Pledge Manager on Backerkit. I've only just started the first book, and so far it's been excellent. I'm looking forward to continuing my journeys through the books 1 and 2 while waiting for this new edition. If you're interested, I'll be sure and let you know if they're offering late backing in the PM. Teburu and the Bad Karmas are headed to GenCon. Be sure and check them out at booth 3045 if you're going, and by all means, please let me know what you think in the comments. Late pledges will also be open during GenCon if you're interested. Design work is finished for Ophiuchus, and the first iteration on the behavior of the 12 Zodiacs is complete. Sound design is also complete, and audio production is in the works. Game flow for the app has been approved, and they're working on user interfaces now. And 5-player game mode seems to be coming along as well. They've given us a look at some of the mock-ups for the app interface and updated artwork. Miniature production is underway, and engineering is in a good place with the electronic components. And of course, they've shown us an updated progress graph. I'm so happy to see these being utilized. Let's take a short intermission from all the crowdfunding updates and look at retail releases and news for the week. First up, we're seeing the release of the Spider-Ham pack for Marvel Champions, but not to be outdone, we see the appearance of Penny Parker in the SP//DR Hero pack for Marvel Champions as well this week. Swinging away from the releases and into the news, Fantasy Flight has announced the Fellowship of the Ring expansion for the Lord of the Rings LCG. Experience the beginning of the journey to destroy the One Ring in this epic expansion. This expansion contains 6 scenarios that recreate the adventure featured in the first part of the legendary Lord of the Rings saga. You'll also find over 50 heroes and player cards, which can be used to build or enhance your decks for any of the game scenarios or campaigns. So, from retail to Waterworld, Waste Knights has launched the Pledge Manager and late backing for the Waste Knights Beyond the Horizon expansion on Gamefound. Make sure and get your selections in there, or grab a copy if you missed the Kickstarter campaign. Add-ons and all that fun stuff are available in the PM. And note that if you were supposed to receive one of the early backer rewards, it will be added to your pledge at a later date. Production updates will be coming our way in the next few weeks. So, some good news from Nemesis Lockdown. Language versions of Lockdown are on ships and should be headed to Europe very soon. The Canadian orders are ready to go, but sitting and waiting for their ship to be booked. Hopefully this long journey is headed for an end soon. Castles of Burgundy is back with their first post-campaign update and already sending out some of the prototypes to the testers for work to begin. They gave us a preview of the minis in a low-quality print form. So far, I'd say that the game board is looking quite impressive when it's full of buildings. Tainted Grail Kings of Ruins is back with its second pre-campaign update. Developers and designers have not been idle on this project, and the game is entering a testing phase already to test the changes made to this version. Location cards now have different sides, one representing the Isle of Avalon and the other the weirdness. No longer have to clear the weirdness from every location you wish to travel through. They are also seeking to take some of the grind out of the game. Western Avalon has waystones that once created keep locations they stand on face up. Exploration is now free too. Now, the ground is crumbling under the feet gameplay is not totally gone and will be available in the challenge mode of Kings of Ruin. These are just a few of the host of changes being made to make the game more accessible and the experience slightly better. The soundtrack campaign for Ancient Blood, Order of the Vampire Hunters is completed, and they've updated the main campaign with all of the new stretch goals unlocked. They unlocked all the stretch goals except one, which will be unlocked if enough money comes in the Pledge Manager. Got new miniatures and ID cards for Ariak, Boris, and Cruss, and a total of 6 new path cards unlocked. The Pledge Manager will be opening in mid-August. Got a short and sweet update from Frosthaven. Production continues to hum along with all files being approved. Logistics and fulfillment details are being ironed out. They should be sending out emails for address corrections soon, but this does not mean that the game is ready to ship. Frosthaven will be present at booth 257 at GenCon. They'd love for you to come by and take a look. Things are getting excited over with Final Girl Series 2. Wave 1 remains on track to finish production by the end of July. From there, they will start their journey towards shipping hubs and hopefully landing in our laps around October. Wave 2 is finalizing files for Series 2. They're hoping to have it done by the end of the month. They hope that we'll be looking for a mid to late first quarter delivery date for Wave 2. They also will be attending Gen Con. Some lucky gamers will be able to win giant versions of the 5 killers from Series 1. Oh, and one more thing. Ahead of their launch at the end of the month, Euthia has given us a preview of the next campaign. It seems Steamforged Games has done nothing but allow them to improve an already impressive offering. The main changes they've made are in the amount of SKUs offered. Euthia will be offering 3 main boxes this time around, combining and condensing the offering to make things easier and cheaper to produce and ship. Gameplay is not changing. Simple enough. They plan to offer a free conversion kit to turn Adragor the Soul Reaper into a playable character for anyone who pledges core or above during the campaign. The 3 main boxes Euthia will be offering are the core, the combo expansion combining Fierce Powers and the Crawling Shadows into one box, and the deluxe expansion which combines all the deluxe components into another box. They'll be adding 2 new small expansions that allow backers from the 2020 Kickstarter campaign to get missing content without having to double up on other things. Standees are still included in the core and expansions, but the fact of the matter is that the vast majority of orders from the first 2 campaigns were including miniatures, so it's cheaper if they only offer one option, and that will have miniatures and standees included. One really cool upgrade is the elements have been upgraded to clear colored acrylic, which should look awesome on the table. They've also resculpted the Hydra, and it's now much more impressive with a bit of scaling and texture. Check back on launch day, they still have a surprise in store. We finally heard a few peeps from the Dark Quarter. On top of showing off some pretty slick art, they're letting us know that they've pushed the Pledge Manager on Gamefound back until late July. They want the extra time to ensure shipping is 100% correct. I think we can give them that important time. €1 backers will have access to the PM. The PM will remain open until production is getting ramped up, which should be well into 2023. French editions will be delayed by 3 months behind the English edition. It's great to hear from them after a long silence, and I'm excited for everyone to get another chance to jump in on this one in the PM soon. Lawyer Up Season 2 is returning from their long recess. They'll be launching the Pledge Manager soon. Results from the polls are in, and it seems everyone would rather them simplify their offerings rather than offer each case individually. They'll be offering 2 boxes, Season 1 and Season 2. These boxes include a slightly redesigned storage tray to fit the square-shaped box. I'll be sure and let you know when the Pledge Manager does launch. Well, that's it, folks. Hopefully I covered everything you want to hear about. Let me know if there's a news source you think I should check out. I'm always on the lookout for a good story. We'll be back later this week with several great campaigns launching and more videos along the way. If you like this kind of board gaming and crowdfunding content, please consider subscribing and helping us grow. More than half our viewers are not subscribed, and it's free and it helps the channel out immensely. Thanks to everyone who's watching and commenting. If you'd like to join our board gaming community, you can find a link to our Discord in the video description below. Thanks again, stay cool, and play something fun tonight.